In 2019, I made a video talking about a Telugu film titled RX 100 and how the Hindi remake starring Ahan Shetty and Sutaria is going to stir a lot of controversy due to the social themes that the film focuses on. With many publications getting uncomfortable already about the dynamic that has been showcased in the film, I think it's safe to say that Twitter is going to have a field day mentioning everything that they find wrong about the movie. The Telugu film starring Karthikeya and Payal Rajput has its fan base split. Some were absolutely engaged in its storytelling, especially due to the brilliant screenplay of the second half, and others who just found the film to be loud and basic in its narrative. I definitely lie in the former category, who was quite impressed by both the themes it was willing to talk about and the intense performances of both the main leads. Tadap sadly is the classic case of how to butcher a remake. A film that you could have easily remade scene to scene, but the sanitized version and the stark catering that it does actually takes away from the core that made RX 100 so popular. Without giving anything away about the storyline, Tadap focuses on the love story that blossoms between the characters of Ishana and Ramisa, played by Ahan Shetty and Sutaria respectively. This is based on the real events that took place in the life of a man by the name of Siva. Ishana works with his father in a movie theatre business and also represents Ramisa's father, who is working in active politics, a character played by Kumud Mishra. As Ramisa returns back from the UK and has her eyes set on Ishana, the romance commences, only for it to take a deep dark turn that Ishana and probably the viewers who have not seen the original film never expected. Getting right into it, here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the film so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch Tadap in theatres or not. The good. The music. I absolutely fell in love with the music album of this film. I had tweeted about this when the film's first look had come out, that the only way Tadap can stay in the memory of the Hindi movie audience is if the music of this film is dreamy and representative of the theme of the film. There is something about intense romance and good music that makes a cocktail that always seems to connect with Hindi film viewers. The music composed by Preetham and the lyrics written by Irshad Kamil is definitely one of the standout features of this film. What is it about Arijit Singh that him singing on any romantic track just seems to hit it out of the park every single time? Tumse Bhi Zyada is absolutely brilliant, and the reprise version that he sings, which is much slower, especially representative of Ishana's mental state when shit hits the fan, gets you right into the feels. I'm not really a fan of Tere Siva Jug Mein, but B Prak's Hoi Ishq Na really does capture the inner angst of Ishana with such ease. A brilliant decision to also get Dino James on the track, an artist that the masses probably don't know about, but a guy who is a legend for many music listeners, especially in the rap game in India. The music album definitely gets it absolutely right. Attempt at realism and passion. I have to commend the attempt by the actors in trying to capture the intensity of the performances that was so convincing in the original Telugu film. Out of all the performances, the most grounded and real of them has to be of Kumud Mishra. While you can actually point out the effort made by the lead actors almost trying too hard to get into the theme of the angst and intense love, Kumud Mishra has a confident presence in front of camera that makes him stand out as the only realistic element in the film. Even a legend like Saurabh Shukla is hamming his way through this film, which was quite uncomfortable to witness. Ahan Shetty really tries to get into the thick of things. I think the creators have really capitalized on his physicality and brute strength rather than his acting skills, as it comes no way close to the range provided by Karthikeya in the original movie. I have to commend his effort, especially for his first film, as he really tries to get into the thick of things, especially in the concluding moments of the movie that demand more from him as an actor. There is a lot of improvement needed strictly from a performance point of view, as it was pretty clear through the film that they are presenting him as an action star rather than an acting talent. Sutaria has to be a total miscast with this film. I am an absolute simp for how beautiful she looks on the big screen, but she in no way captures the lustful and objectifying themes that were convincingly performed by Payal Rajput. The switch that takes place in the film also has such a lukewarm impact that viewers will only be engaged due to an already proven screenplay rather than the performances. You also let me know what you felt about the film, how it pales in comparison to the original movie, and the interesting talking points regarding the social themes of the film that fascinate or interest you. The underwhelming aspects. Cringe-worthy dialogues. Many Telugu film fans would tell you that the original movie also has a lot of gags and loud dialogues, so for the Hindi film to have the same kind of gags, it's actually just reflective of what the theme was in the first half of the original movie as well. But it generally feels like Milan Luthria and Rajat Arora, especially with the dialogues of this movie, were still in Once Upon a Time in Mumbai Dobara hangover mode. Each line, especially in the first half, makes you cringe more than anything else. Sutaria returns back home for her dadi to tell her that she'll gain weight if she eats a lot of ghee, to which Tara brings out the most woke response that men always prefer babes over bones. The romantic leads never speak to each other directly. They either speak in circles giving analogies about inanimate objects or keep on throwing books at one another, the titles of which are the basis of their conversations. At one point of time, I wanted to sit them both down and tell them, you can directly talk to one another. It's okay. Sumit playing the role of Ishana's friend, hamming it up through most of the film, is even more irritating than the friend in the original Telugu film. He is constantly pestering and annoying Ishana, having dialogues like, "Arey, what's? Are you nuts?" It will definitely cause a minor aneurysm whenever he is on screen. A brilliant actor otherwise, but absolutely annoying in this movie. The analogies are absolutely hilarious in this film. Saurabh Shukla has a rubber band theory talking about pyar at one point, Kumud Mishra and his obsession with Izzat, and the best dialogue of Tara while talking about छोटे शहर के लोग और उनकी छोटी सोच. She says, Instagram के ज़माने में Telegram? I honestly burst out laughing. The dialogues are atrocious to say the least. Sanitization of lust. The biggest problem with this film is that it absolutely strays away from the raw and unapologetic themes that the Telugu film focused on. What makes the original source material stand out is that it focuses on themes of intense love and lust in an extremely visceral form. What makes the movie unique is that many of the advances are carried out by the girl. Most of Bollywood films and its themes regarding romance showcase the male heroes pursuing the women, often transitioning to become harassment and stalking. Through this film, they flip the script that the woman is in the driver's seat, and this is communicated when she first sets her eyes on the hero. While the Hindi film showcases a very sanitized version of the same theme, the Telugu film with no shame showcases the actress lusting over the male body, almost gawking at it with awe. An entire montage through the song Adhire Hridayam is presented that showcases the physical attraction between the two main leads, and this is only communicated through a rave party song in the Hindi film titled Tere Siva Jug Mein. Not only does the Hindi pair lack the intensity and raw physical attraction that the Telugu film represented, but the Hindi creators almost intentionally don't go that way, taking away from what made RX 100 somewhat memorable. Character focus versus star kid launch. The biggest problem with Tadap and why it's a horrible remake of the original film is that rather than following the downward spiral of Ishana, which was successfully portrayed through the character of Shiva played by Karthikeya in the original film, Tadap is actually an attempt to showcase Ahan Shetty as a hero. So there are many parts of the screenplay in this film that actually make no sense from a storyline perspective, but are just catered to present Ahan as the hero in the film industry. There is an action scene where he runs through explosives on a site and a cringeworthy dance piece on Moja Moja that is all catered towards Shetty rather than his character. It's almost as if the creators felt compelled that we have to showcase the actor like a badass, so we better get with the program and showcase him in 2 or 3 set pieces that have nothing to do with the story. The original film never fell prey to catering to any actor or any commercial tropes. The story was always paramount and was never bogged down due to anyone's presence in the film. It's safe to say that Tadap absolutely pales in comparison to come close to the themes that RX 100 shed light on, and if you want to see the original film, I would suggest you do so on Amazon Prime Video in the Telugu language. This was my spoiler-free review, and for whosoever does not want to know anything about the story can click away right now, because I want to talk about the story briefly, and especially its twist. So spoiler warning right now, let's get to it in 5. Both characters are wrong in their own way. Let's get that out of the way. The girl leading a man on and lying to him is wrong. The man getting absolutely obsessed with her so much so that he creates a ruckus and scene as she is getting married to someone else is also wrong. The woman hiring a contract killer to eliminate him is crazy. It's so wrong. The man identifying the same, almost dying and reprimanding her for the same makes sense in some way. This relationship and how it manifests into this bloody mess is toxic in every shape and form. If you're looking at it from a strictly moral standpoint, if the woman was truthful from the onset on her intentions, it would have never turned ugly or transpired the way it did. The byproduct of a man getting obsessed and almost feeling like he has a sense of ownership with the woman is also problematic. But come on. You can't only blame the man for his actions in this film, while the woman also has her devious ways and gets a free pass. If you do want to talk about spoilers in the comments section, please do give a fair warning to the viewers by mentioning that you're writing about spoilers. This will also be an interesting discussion in the comments below. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the movie. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.